High sensitivity is one of my favorite topics to talk about on this channel, and learning more about it is a great way to help you navigate your own sensitivity, to keep feeling good, and to create habits that are gentle yet powerful and that match your personality type. I always knew that I was a sensitive child, and that's the way that adults used to describe me. But I was ashamed of it, somehow feeling abnormal because of that label that people were putting on me. But in recent years, learning about it and understanding that it is a physiological trait, a trait that one is born with, actually helped me a lot. So now I don't hide my sensitivity any longer. I am not ashamed of it anymore, and I want to use it to maximize my potential, if anything. And being a creative, this is a part of me that I actually want to unlock more deeply. And there are more things that I want to share with you about high sensitivity. So, here are 6 things that I believe every HSP, highly sensitive person, should know. First, being sensitive does not mean that we are shy. Sensitivity often equates to shyness in people's minds, especially because HSPs tend to be introverts as well, but in reality they are 2 very different things. Shyness is usually described as the fear that others won't like you and won't approve of you. It is a response to a certain situation. It is a temporary state, whereas high sensitivity is a physiological trait that you were born with. Shyness is not inherited, sensitivity is. Shyness does develop more in HSPs, but it's not always the case. And I think it's very useful to take the example of some celebrities who talked about being shy in the past and who are also highly sensitive. And you can see that they are also sociable and comfortable in their own skin. For example, in this channel, I analyzed the body language and social behavior of Emma Watson or Angelina Jolie, Keira Knightley, Zendaya. You can have a look at the playlist right here. Secondly, worry is our enemy. Dr. Elaine Aron, who wrote the famous Highly Sensitive Person book, said, "Worry makes us over-aroused. It's our special Achilles heel." Like in a social settings, for example, when you're worrying about what others think about you, that tends to lead to shut down and to not be your best self, or being drained and exhausted by worry because you are sensitive and you are inherently more sensitive to internal stimuli and external. To help you navigate worry, I would recommend you spend some regular time by yourself quietly to recharge your batteries. That will help you reset to a nice, comfortable level where your nervous system is not over-aroused, but where you are more centered. A morning or night journaling habit could be very useful as well, so that you can put all your thoughts and worry on paper. And I know that some people are afraid that writing down their worries are going to make them more potent and more present. That's something that my clients often ask me about. But actually it's not the case at all. On the contrary, you are releasing some of the power that those thoughts and worries have over you when you put them on paper. Because on paper, you have more control over them. They are not just scattered and going around in your mind. So this is a very useful habit. I like thinking about it as Dumbledore, who takes his thoughts out of his head and puts them in the pensive when there's just too much in his mind, and it helps him be clearer, like have a clearer thought process and remember things better. This is a bit similar. 3. HSPs tend to fall in love fast. I think this is important to remember because when you fall in love fast and hard, you may ignore red flags and aspects of your romantic partner that don't actually match what you need and want from a relationship. So you go head on into it without thinking and reflecting. You may also project unmet needs and expectations onto the other person and make them into someone they're not. And then later on, you realize that they are not the person you thought they were, and you fall out of love. That happened to me many times in the past before I met my current boyfriend. So be aware of this and try to be true to yourself as much as possible. 4. The power of posture. When we are over-aroused, which happens quite easily as an HSP, we tend to go into freeze mode and to shut down. Using your body posture can actually help you break this freeze mode and get out of shutdown. So being present again to your body, to who you are, to where you are. So try adopting a more relaxed posture. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be just slouching, like you can be straight and have this relaxed, in command feel about your body language. And that's what we're trying to find here. It's the posture of someone calm and in command, meaning someone who is in control of the situation, in control of themselves, of their emotions, which is the opposite of shut down and freeze. So raise your head, pull your shoulders back, strengthen your spine, center your upper body above your feet, breathe calmly and deeply from the stomach. I like thinking about my center being very steady and stable from the solar plexus right under the rib cage to the root chakra at the base of my spine, like feeling like the energy is going into this space and really keeping me in place, present, grounded and anchored. Or maybe you want to lean back to actually feel calmer. So you have to work with what feels best for you and what helps you the most. It's crucial to hold yourself and to move in the manner that you want to feel, because eventually the mind will imitate the body and you will start feeling relaxed and more in control. 5. We may be royal advisors more than warrior kings. So these terms come once more from Dr. Elaine Aron's book. She likens society to being divided between warrior kings on one side and royal advisors on the other side. Warrior kings being loud, bold, out there, taking the initiative, being competitive with a more fiery and aggressive style. And the royal advisors, where HSPs tend to fall into this category, they are more reflective and thoughtful. They provide balance. It's a thoughtful group that reflects on all the different aspects of an idea before making a decision. So royal advisors think deeply about things and reflect. And often they have to make themselves unpopular by stopping the majority from rushing ahead without reflecting first. So Dr. Aron says that to perform our royal advisor role well, we need to feel very good about ourselves, because we have to ignore all the messages from the royal kings that we're not as good as they are. But we too have our own style and our own contributions to make. So remember that. And 6, don't overprotect yourself. If you're scared of trying new things or of simply putting yourself out there in the world, you may retreat a little bit too much inwards and isolate yourself too much. When you retreat too much, you lose your sense of adaptability and reality. And although it is very important for an HSP and an introvert to take some quiet alone time to recharge as much as possible, it is also crucial to keep a healthy balance in your life. If you tend to go in a little bit too much, you may have noticed that the less social interactions you have, the more challenging and tricky they feel when you have them. So if you want to try new things but you're afraid, or if you want to be more social or put yourself out there more, help yourself instead of reinforcing the fear by not doing it, by talking yourself out of it, by isolating yourself more. Otherwise, you are telling yourself that your desires somehow are wrong and that you're not worthy of them, that they're not meant for you. And that's the wrong message to send to yourself. Of course, the more you overprotect yourself from stimulation, the more arousing and overwhelming the rest of the stimulation feels. So it decreases your resilience and your capability to adjust. So my advice here is to keep small doses of stimulation or to build your way up progressively. So which of those things have been most helpful for you to know? Which were most insightful? Let me know in the comments. And fellow HSP, don't forget to really value yourself, because you have so much contribution to make to the world. I'm sending you much love, and if I'm not making another video before Christmas, have the most beautiful festive period. Bye.